Hello, mate. How you doing? All right? Good to see you. How you doing? Hello, mate. How we doing? How we doing? You know how the lime green sofa works by now. Lee and Kieran and Lee, and I said this during the break. Kieran Lee's a famous porn star, I do believe.
So you tell me.
No,
That's new.
No relation. No relation. All right, just checking.
No.
So let's get swiftly back to football before I get thrown off this show again. Third at the moment, 16 points, 2 points off top. Must be feeling pretty good after the opening day of the season.
Yeah, definitely. We've made a definitely big change after that first game. With our past 6 games, we haven't lost a single one, which is all right. We've had, was it 5 wins on the trot now? And last one, 6, was a draw, so that's all right for us. What do you think?
Yeah, quite pleased really. Like, after the diabolical performance against Liverpool, as you well know.
Yep.
So yeah, we've turned it around a little bit, and we're having that little bit of luck as well. Certainly got that against Burnley in the last game, and
that's more than a little bit of like that Burnley goal. I think that's. I think that's your luck done for the season.
Yeah, it could be. Like we tried to mess it up more than anything. Like, you know, both of them tried to miss it, but you know, it went in, and you know, turned 1 point into 3, which was very much needed with the other results. With Spurs beating Man City, you know, that meant that we had to win that game because obviously they'd played earlier in the day. So it was a little bit of pressure on us, and we managed to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point you make, actually, because you were at the end of the weekend, and with the Friday night fixtures coming in now and stuff, you know, you can be under a lot of pressure by the time that final game kicks off on a Sunday night at the moment. So it was a huge win for you guys. Tomorrow, Swansea at home, 3 o'clock on a Saturday. On paper, 3 points, move on to next week, move into the Champions League, but it's never that simple, is it? Especially against Swansea. 1 win in the last 5 against them. Statistically, they're your worst team in the Premier League. Have you got any ideas why?
Welsh. No.
And they just have a habit of ruining things?
I don't know. It's just we've had a couple of proper meltdowns against them as well. Like last season, you know, that was. I've never been in the ground.
Well, funnily enough, so I went. Just a friend of mine was an Arsenal fan, had a spare ticket, so I went to Arsenal versus Swansea last season at the Emirates, and it was toxic.
I've never ever seen it as toxic as it was after that game, you know. And there was some angry fans after that. I was one of them. And yeah, so it's never been like that before. And I think that was like the you know, that was the crunch one for Wenger. I think like, after that he realised that he had to do something as well. So. Yeah, because it was pretty hostile in the ground after that, like, you know. So thankfully, it's turned around a little bit. It's quite pleasurable going over the Emirates at the moment. So long may that continue.
It is incredible in football, and you know, we're the first ones to admit it as fans. We are fickle, and it's such a results business. But I mean, sorry, Mark, who's waiting to come on. But I'll compare it to West Ham before the start of the season. Sorry, Mark. But West Ham before the start of the season, and FANTV started before the first games had kicked off. So we had West Ham fans sitting here going, brilliant, great season last season, new stadium, everything's going to go brilliantly. Arsenal fans were definitely the lowest, I'd say, in pre-season, and really had low expectations for what you could achieve this season. It is amazing what wins can do to a club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without a doubt, and I also think that also like spending a bit of money has definitely eased the pain of an Arsenal fan. You know, like, you know, at long last, Wenger got his wallet out. You know, and I think that was a big thing. But definitely fickle. You go over the Arsenal at the moment, and it is definitely a happier place. You know, you know. What West Ham are experiencing is what we've been experiencing last season. You know what I mean? No offence, but like, it definitely is.
He's used been on the show loads.
But I'll tell you how horrible it is. You know what I mean? Because West Ham are having that, us as Arsenal fans are enjoying it. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, because we can relate to it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we was there last season. You think, thank God it ain't us this season. You know what I mean? But you never know with Arsenal. It could be just round the corner. But no, at the moment, as you say, very, very fickle. You know, we all love Arsene Wenger at the moment, and you know, everything's good about Arsenal.
Yeah, but the thing is, we only ever love Arsene Wenger when we do get the wins, and then when we don't get the wins, it's just pitchforks are out. You know, Wenger out, and that frustrates me a bit because that's kind of why all other teams take the mick out of us and call us and dub us, sorry, should I say, as the worst fans in football. And obviously I disagree with that, but they've got their points to prove it, because they are saying well, it's evidence. We get annoyed whenever we lose, but everyone does. But we always point the finger at Arsene Wenger, and then when we get the wins, everyone loves him 10 more years, you know, and.
Don't go see
but I think that's 100% correct. That there's
definitely.
no smoke without fire. There's a reason Arsenal fans get this label.
Yeah.
And it's because, and like I say, pre-season it was hard to find a Wenger in man, especially before you got those last 2 deals over the line. It was very, very hard to sign a Wenger in man. But I've always kind of got the impression that Arsenal fans, obviously they want to do well because you want your team to do well. But I think that the thing is that they want to do well under Wenger. In an ideal world, they just started to think that wasn't going to be possible at some point. But I think there's always an underlying, you love Arsene Wenger, we'd love to do well under him, but he doesn't seem like the right man necessarily at times.
I think with Arsene Wenger, you've got to criticise him at times, and last season, you know, I was a big, you know, criticising him a lot, you know, especially just spending £15 million in the transfer window. But this season, you know, you do want, you know, whenever he comes on an interview and all that, you know, you do look at this sense of like, you know, he is a class manager, you know what I mean? The way he conducts himself and everything, he is you know, special. And from an Arsenal fan, you know, I want him, you know, to win trophies. Of course I do, because at the end of the day, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I want to win the trophies. And you do want him to succeed because of what he does. But there is that little bit of stubbornness with him that does frustrate the Arsenal fan, you know, and a little bit of that has gone this season. And because of that, you know, the fans are starting to go back onto his side a little bit, you know, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think, you know, he is a manager that deserves criticism, and also, but I will say, like, from my point of view, if Wenger does well, then I'm willing to give him as much praise as there is. But if he has done bad, because of what he's done in the past, I'm not going to not criticise him, Toby. I'm going to say to him, you know, no, that's not acceptable. And I think, you know, yeah, we are a little bit fickle.
I mean, I guess that's almost the point. I think you hit the nail on the head there, that Arsenal fans would be quite happy to put their hands up and say, sorry, Arsene Wenger, we got you wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they want you to, they want Wenger to prove you wrong, don't
we
they?
don't spend all that money, you know, to go and see Arsenal lose so we can just say, oh, Wenger, you're rubbish, you know what I mean? We want to go there and we want to see him win. In the last 2 games at home, you know, Chelsea and the first half against Basel were absolutely sublime. They were sensational games to watch, and the atmosphere in the stadium was fantastic. The football we was playing was absolutely brilliant, and that's what we want to see, you know. Unfortunately, we didn't get that at Burnley, but we got the result. So, you know, I'm personally looking forward to tomorrow because I'm hoping that the Arsenal that's turned up in the last 2 home games will be there again. But yeah, and if that happens, long it may continue, and you know, if we continue to do that, we're not going to be far short of challenging for the title, and every Arsenal fan is going to be happy if that's the case, and Wenger can stay for a little bit longer.
Is there, you know, when you do, hopefully, touch wood, win a league title again, I don't know how long, we've only got to 10 o'clock tonight, it certainly won't be tonight, would it mean more seeing Wenger lifted up than anybody else? Is that the thing?
Yeah, I think if we were to win it, I think he should. It's going to sound a bit harsh, but I think he should just leave it there, leave on a high note, because he's known as that one manager to get the unbeaten season, get the doubles, and that's what we want to see Arsene as. We don't want to see him as the manager who never spent, or always losing games to lower teams, should I say. I don't want to say rubbish teams. Well, yeah. I just said it.
But, smooth, nicely done. Nobody noticed.
But I want, if he is to, when he does end his career as a manager,
like him to, that's it, because if he goes tomorrow, then, you know, it's going to be a bit tainted. So we were talking about Arsene Wenger before the break. Someone's going to join us now. It's James, who is an Arsenal fan. Arsenal fan on Skype. Come join us, James. Now. Yes. Smooth. Oh, it's Gervais. Hello, mate.
What are you doing?
And your mum. It's Ricky Gervais and his mum.
Unbelievable.
What's her opinion? Is she Wenger in or Wenger out?
No. You Wenger in or Wenger out? Do the okey cokey and she turns around. There you go. Oh, if he wins the league, he's got to leave. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Good. It's more importantly, is she Tarrant out or Toby in?
I'll tell you what, I couldn't be there tonight. I was gutted. I'll get a chance Skype, and now my mum's ruined it. Unbelievable.
Before this call's over, you are also going to have to sweep your hair over and do an impression of Derek as if you're Ricky Gervais at some point.
Derek. Take David Brent. I won't take Derek. There's a reason people want you to leave.
You can be David Brent as much as you want over the course of this call. We're talking about another David Brent-esque character, Arsene Wenger. Bit of a joke. No, I'm joking. Wenger has said this week he will not hand-pick the next manager, as that is not his job. That's probably the first time ever he's not got involved in things at boardroom level.
Yeah, he hired his own boss, so it's a bit strange that he's not going to have a say in it. I think he will, but you don't know. There's names coming out thick and thin, isn't there, all the time? So, you know, I just hopefully it's someone who's got somewhat of a similar type of philosophy, football-wise. Maybe not transfer-wise. Maybe like someone who dips in a bit more here and there, uses the resources we have. But, you know, ideally, Simeone would be great, but I don't think he'll come in. I think our players are a bit too frightened of someone like that. I think he'll rackle them a bit and shackle them with that sort of management style.
Also, oh yeah, there we go. I was just about to say, do you exist from below the nose? But no, you do, which is not.
Yeah.
Sorry, the camera was a bit all over the place.
Oh, sorry.
Were you listening to the guys on the sofa from before the break? They were saying how, you know, as much as they give Wenger stick, you know, they love the man. They just, they haven't been performing, but they'd love to see him more than anyone else lift.
I think every Arsenal fan does. Just some are more impatient than others, and some are getting a bit more frustrated than others. I mean, Lee there, who sat there, he said something great on Arsenal FANTV the other week, which I wholeheartedly agree with, is that we're playing and we're winning, we're having a good time, and we're playing some of the best football we've played for years, and yet people still not enjoying it. It's like, what more do we have to do? We got a kid there in Iwobi, who's probably the best youth product we've had since Ashley Cole. All right, Jack Wilshere hit to and fro. And why are you whinging still about the manager? Why are you whinging about this? Mustafi is one of the best centre-backs I've seen at Arsenal in years. We're playing brilliant, like you said, first half against Chelsea, well, the whole game against Chelsea, the first half against Basel, and yet there's still people piping up, moaning and whinging. Why? Enjoy it.
The man that he mentioned there, that young man, Alex Iwobi, I mean, I was impressed by him last season, I have to admit. I thought even last season he was superb. In fact, he was one of the few names that came off without sullying his name too much in that Swansea home defeat. What do you make of Alex Iwobi so far this season? He's been immense, hasn't he?
He's a class player. He's a class player. And the reason that Arsenal are doing really well at the moment is because he's playing well on the left, which is allowing Sanchez to go up front and do the business up front. So we're not really missing. Like, first couple of games, we was, Iwobi didn't play, got injured in the first game, and we was missing him, played Chamberlain out there. And everybody was saying, oh, it can't work because Sanchez is being missed on the left-hand side. But now we've got someone that can play on the left-hand side, and the boy can play, you know what I mean? Like, his play, the way his hold-up play, he brings the ball in and all that, I think he's a fantastic player. 20 years of age as well. And a miss for England that he chose to play for Nigeria, so, a quality player.
Yeah, and defends as well. Tracks back, puts a proper shift in down that left flank as well. Touched on Mustafi, who is rightly getting praise at the minute. He's been absolutely brilliant, but still, it's that man next to him, isn't it? That man, Lauren Koscielny. I saw Marcus Rashford came out and said Koscielny's the hardest defender he's ever played against. And I'm pretty sure Rashford scored twice against you a lot as well, didn't he? But I mean, he said Koscielny was the best defender he ever played against. Do you agree? I mean, how good is he?
He's, at the moment, he's the best defender in the Premier League, hands down. I'm getting some strange looks over there. I personally think he's up there because you just can't. What is it? Statistic. Sorry, that I heard you say earlier. We've conceded 1 goal since that Liverpool game. That's got to say something. I think.
That was actually Chris Darwin, but I'll claim that. That was me.
And it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
It was.
But I think Mustafi, he's showing what he's worth, and he's a brilliant signing, and he's the man that Koscielny needed next to him to play the game.
Yeah.
I think that's where the frustration with Arsenal fans come in, because we've bought Mustafi, and we've had to pay big money for him. The reason why we've had to pay big money is because he's quality. You know, we've paid like cheaper versions for Gabriel, who's not a bad player, but all of a sudden we've got the real deal. You know, and with Koscielny, I think he's proving in Europe as well that he's one of the best. And you know, there is that old saying that forwards win your games, defences win your leagues, and that's what we've got now. You know, couple of seasons ago against Burnley, 0-0, you're always thinking, oh, they might nick a goal and then we're up against it. It now looks like we're going to be able to keep clean sheets, which allows us to get those lucky little goals at the end, you know. So, you know, at long last, Wenger's has done the business there with them.
I guess it's what Arsenal fans have been saying for years. If you spend some money, you get a quality player. That's kind of how it works.
Proof is in the pudding.
James, before I let you go, I'm going to let you go in a sec, but quickly, the game tomorrow, a massive bogey team for you, Swansea, but like Arsenal on a bit of a high at the moment. How do you see that game going, and what do you think the final score is going to be?
I think 3-1 to Arsenal. I think it's about time we put hoodoos behind us. You know, we got Chelsea out the way. Which I was really happy about. You know, sometimes Arsenal, we play the badge. We don't necessarily play the team. It's like we're United. It all gets a bit, we get frightened. We don't know what to do. But Swansea tomorrow, all right, new manager. He's been praised for what he's done before in the past. He gave Wenger a lot of praise and everything. But I know there's talk of no Sanchez, no Giroud, so probably a big day for Lucas Perez if he's out there. But this is the kind of team I want him to sort of play against. You know, Swansea now, then without Ashley Williams defensively, they're not as good as what they used to be. So hopefully get him in there, him running behind with the likes of Iwobi, whose link-up play we spoke about. And, you know, Theo Walcott, all right for England. Didn't go too well this week, but get your head down, carry on playing for Arsenal like you've been playing, because he's been arguably one of our best players so far this season.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of players don't go away. I don't think you can judge their England form and whether they'll recreate it for their clubs, don't they? Before you go, will you do the David Brent dance from The Office for us?
Yeah, you're on the dance.
Yes,
There you go. Just like quickly say as well. Thank you, guys. Just quickly, Uzi, the kid that sadly passed away this week. A lot of people talk about Arsenal fans and the bad stuff we do. This week it was all over social media about trying to get something for the guy for the game, and I know there's a mention of him in the programme tomorrow. I think there's a little article or something about there. So RIP to Uzi, and thank you to all the Arsenal fans that helped out to get something for him.
Spot on, James. Really good. Very good. Right. Completely agree. James, thank you so much for Skyping in.
No worries. You take care, guys. Have a good
enjoy
one.
the game tomorrow. Thank you, mate.
No
Cheers.
worries. See you soon.
Yeah, spot on from James. I believe as well, I think he's ready now. It's been a bit Arsenal heavy, so we're going to get the other side of the fence, the other side of North London. We are going to get a Tottenham Hotspur fan on Skype in a few moments' time. They're just calling him now. They're going to get him on. Well, it's been a bit nice about Arsenal so far, isn't it? So we thought we'd have to even it out. But is it typical that the Arsenal-Spurs relationship that this season was probably one where Spurs fans thought, this could be our season again to finish above Arsenal, and then you come out this season and play the best football you've played in a few years. Do you think the Tottenham scare put the rocket up you a bit last season?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that Spurs are doing well, because that kicks us. We've got to make sure that we've, because that's what puts the pressure on. You know what I mean? Spurs were winning last season, and I think that's what made a lot of fans even more frustrated, because they was doing well, we wasn't. And I think it definitely, because when you play, we've got Spurs in a few weeks, so I think this next few weeks is massive for Arsenal and Spurs, because I think we've got games that we should win. So, and then we've got the North London derby. But over the last few years, no disrespect to Spurs, but it is disrespect, is that when we've played North London derbies, the pressure's always been on Arsenal to win, because we're going for the title. They've got nothing to play for. But now they've got something to play for. They've got, last season, the North London derby, they were 2-1 up, and the pressure was on them to go and win that game, and it didn't happen. We managed to get through it, get a draw out of it. So now it is... the pressure's on them just as much as us, and it makes it a more of a good battle. And I think that we need to, we've needed to up our game because of what Spurs have been doing. We've upped our game, and hopefully we will. It will push us towards the title, and we can thank Spurs for doing it for us.
Yeah, we are going to get that Skype call on, but we only got a couple of minutes to break, so I might hold him and we'll talk to him.
Yeah, hold him for a
minute. Yeah. So wait there, Jonathan. Wait there, Jonathan. We'll talk to him. We'll put you after the break. Is this the trick here? I was having this discussion with a mate the other day who's an Arsenal fan. He was saying, what you guys need to do is get Spurs good enough to finish second, so then we can finish first.
Exactly.
That's the plan, right?
Well, there's been that pattern. Loads of people have been saying this about a few years ago we came fourth. Then a couple, we came third, last year second. Who's can say we can do it first,
Exactly.
Or we could just completely ruin the pattern and come fifth.
I think this is the key point, is we've been sat here before, haven't we, discussing Arsenal at this time of the season, talking very, very positive, waxing lyrical about how when they're at best, they play better football in the league. it's February, March time where we're going to find out.
It's totally dead right. It's when the pressure's on. It's not. I'm not. No disrespect for Spurs. We're not. We wasn't really. You know, we didn't move to the Emirates to compete with Spurs. You know what I mean? Because of their smaller stadium and all that. Nothing against Spurs. They will come to the good when their stadium goes. But it is the pressure of going to the likes of Man United when you know you've got to try and get a result. Like we were talking the last time I was on the show about Liverpool, like, you know, going to Chelsea, win and got a result. That's what Arsenal got to do. They've got to go to Man United in a few weeks' time and get something. And if they do, and win the games that they're expected to win over the next few weeks, and when the pressure's on, you know, we saw, because I think with Arsenal, it's great all the football that we play, but if it's slightly off, then it's off, you know what I mean? Like, by the way we play, you know what I mean?
Found out sometimes for maybe overpassing or whatever.
Yeah, so when the pressure's on, that passing can just slightly go off.
We've got to take a quick break, but you're completely right again, it's the plan B that maybe is the issue, like a few clubs in the league. Right now, it's been very Arsenal heavy here on the lime green sofa, so we're going to see from the other side of North London with their newly named tube station, perhaps. It's Jonathan on Skype. Oh, here we go. It's his time to shine. Oh, it's got a bit of time there. This is his trademark. It's time to shine. It's time to shine for the Spurs boys. Well, we've been talking about it. The plan is, from the Arsenal side of things, is to get you good enough to finish second, so then they can win the league and finish above you.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, it's a sound plan. It's been 20 years. I can't argue it.
Fair enough, right. Well, it's been lovely hearing from you, Jonathan, and we'll get you back on same time next week, which should be good, just to do the time to shine, but then you can leave again. No, I mean, be honest, does it feel like there's a changing of a guard in North London at the moment? Or do you still think that, come on, be honest, do you still think we're behind them?
I think the Tottenham fans are a lot happier than Arsenal fans at the moment. I think Arsenal have got a great squad this year. I think they needed a striker and a centre-back. I think 99% of their fans knew that for the last 6 years. Their manager didn't, but now they seem to have got them. I think there's like 100% support behind the players and manager at Tottenham. There's not that at Arsenal. There's a lot of dissension and sometimes even fighting in the ground. So I think we're catching them faster than they can pull away from us, certainly with the new ground. It's going to be the biggest and best club ground in London. There's a few more hundred seats in our place. I think they're looking over their shoulders and they can't pull away from us because the club isn't about the kind of ambition that the fans have got.
I mean, he's put it very well. He's put it very well that they're catching up quicker than you're pulling away. Is that a fair point? Is this in the times that you've been Arsenal fans in Premier League history, let's say, this is the closest they've ever been to you, isn't it?
Without a doubt. You can't deny that. You know, you can't deny that. You know, over the. You know, no disrespect, I keep saying that, but I love it.
We all know that.
Yeah, you know, they celebrated a draw when we won the championship at their ground. You know, from there, they've now gone on to they was the best team that played at the Emirates last season, in my opinion. They come to the Emirates, and that includes Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Spurs for 70 minutes. Outplayed Arsenal, and then, funny enough, the last 20 minutes we could have gone on and won it. They're a very, very good side, and they've got a good manager. It pains me to say that, but they have, and you know they are now right on our heels, and they are pushing us. And you know, if we do win the title, we've got a lot to thank them for. You know what I mean? So,
is there a tennis match going on behind me? Your head's going like this.
I keep looking over there like that. I can't look at the Spurs fan, you know. I can't see myself on there, you know. It's frightening, you know.
Could you at least leave that until after 9 o'clock when the watershed's over, if you're going to do something like that, Jonathan, in the future, please, mate?
Sorry, I just noticed that there's very little hair in North London.
That's it. You took all the hair from North London and left these two with absolutely no. Oops. Are you like twins and one of you is the evil twin that went off to support the other side from North London? Is that how it is?
Funny enough, my brother is a Spurs fan, you know.
Oh, really?
So like, my family's divided with, like my mum's side were Tottenham, and my dad's side were Arsenal, so my brother, unfortunately, went the other way and been an unhappy boy ever since. Actually, because Arsenal's so good, moved out of the country. He lives in Thailand now. So
sure he's having a great time over there, to be fair. It must be quite nice that, okay, admittedly it comes with a disclaimer of no offence, but Arsenal fans can't help but be complimentary about Spurs at the minute.
Well, it's nice. I mean, and in all fairness, it makes a change. It's been a long time since. And in all fairness, and I'll be honest about it. A lot of gooners that I've spoken to recently have given credit where credit's due. And I'm a football fan. I know how good Arsenal have been for a long time now. I thoroughly enjoyed that they haven't taken that step. They had their chance to be unassailable from us, I feel, and they never went for it. The fans wanted it. They got the ground. They got all the money. And I thought, and when that stadium went up, my heart sank. And I thought, this is it for them. This is their chance to make the big step. And in all fairness, they haven't done it. And now with our stadium going up, with Champions League football, our squad's competing with them now. Granted, they're a little bit ahead of us, but I don't see a change with Arsenal making that one big 50, 60 million pound player that could give them a serious assault on the Champions League and the Premier League. I still don't see him doing it. I see the manager, well, no, not the manager, but the chairman taking the money out. But the fans, in all fairness, to answer your question again, yeah, the fans have been quite respectful, and I think it's going to be a hell of a derby come November.
It's going to be a great game next month, isn't it? It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be close, definitely.
It will be. I mean, it will be very close, and it might come down to who's still maintaining this form up until then. I really like that point you made there about the fact that there was a chance. Did you miss a trick there? There was a chance for you guys to pull away in that 8-year lean spell. You're right there, mate.
shocking, isn't it?
It's Friday night, isn't it? It's Friday night. Why not?
That do an egg as well, isn't it? Like chicken.
He hasn't washed his glass for a while.
Chicken on the glass.
Is he right though? Did you miss a trick there? Was there a part for you to be unassailable from Spurs? Was there?
I don't think so, because obviously when we first moved into the Emirates, we was a little bit short of money. Obviously, with where to pay for the stadium. I think over the last couple of years, we've definitely missed a little bit of a trick there. But Spurs will find out in a couple of years' time when they move how difficult it'll probably be.
Ask Mark, the West Ham fan.
Poor Mark, they're experiencing it now.
He gets abused more so over there than he does on the sofa. Johnny, mate, we're going to let you go, but enjoy your Friday night, mate. Enjoy your beer as well. I'm insanely jealous. They don't let me have any. They won't let me have any before the show. Enjoy that, mate. And enjoy, mate. Time to shine. Time to shine, baby. Time to shine.
I can't do it with a beer.
Cheers, Jonathan, mate. See you.
Cheers, take care, Tony.
Mate. Have a good one. See, he's not too bad.
No, he was fine.
He was all right. He was fine. It's the nicest thing you've said about anything Spurs related all year.
They're not a bad bunch, are they?
They have their moments. They have their moments. I think now, because it's just been an international break, quick step away from the Premier League, which is back tomorrow. Yes, get in. The international break is obviously a huge time for non-league football, and we are going to have a non-league football update as well, because obviously over the last 2 weeks, it's one of the few games that actually go on. So if you're a non-league fan, the international break's a great time for you. Are you there for us on Skype? Now. Yeah, I'm getting good at that. Hello, sir. Good to see you again. How are you doing? All right?
Good evening. How are you, boys? All right?
Yes, very, very well. Are you guys well?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
You've got to say that. You're on our show. You have to say that. Look. I mean, he's a very happy man here on Skype, because international break, if you're a non-league football enthusiast, is a hell of a 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got 32 games tomorrow in the FA Cup fourth round qualifying. So the non-league clubs get really excited and they love it. It's their day, and hopefully some of them can creep through to the next round, the first round proper.
Any ties in particular? Loads of games, like you say, going on tomorrow. What's the standout non-league tie tomorrow?
Well, it's the game we're going to. I would say that, wouldn't I? It's Stamford, the Lincolnshire side, who are at home. Bearing in mind they're in step 4, they're playing Wrexham. I'm sure you've heard of Wrexham. They're in step 1, National League football. Great side, but the last sort of 9 years found themselves out of the Football League. So that's the clash of the day, no doubt about that. And that's on non-league live.
Is that where's that? Is that a home game for Wrexham? Is it the racecourse ground?
That's a home game for Stamford. Yeah, that's in Lincolnshire. About 140 miles from Wrexham, to be precise.
Oh yeah, bit of a trek if you're a non-league team as well. Especially you've got to get the old minibus out. All right, saying as well, Wealdstone versus Dagenham and Redbridge tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good game, isn't it? I think you had the Wealdstone manager on this week on FANTV, and there's a bit of a character. And Dagenham, I expect them to win that game, but you never know. It's cup football, and it's £12,500 for the winning team. So they want a bit of money, those clubs as well.
What have you been doing with yourself in the 2 weeks of the international break? It's obviously a busy time for you. What have you been up to?
Yeah, we've been covering a lot of games. We've done about 5 or 6 games around the country. We've got about 20 commentators on board that cover games all around the country, as I said. And we go from game to game, and we profile the games. We do the live commentary as well. We try and highlight any ex-pros that have played in the higher leagues as well. We always try and highlight them and get them involved as well. Because I think the manager tonight, you may have heard of, guys, Joey Jones, former Liverpool player. Joey Jones is just taken over from the Wrexham helm because the manager was sacked 48 hours ago. So he's a ex-Liverpool great and Wrexham great as well. He's in charge tomorrow for Wrexham.
What about the big boys? What have Salford been up to, the kind of glamour boys of non-league football at the moment?
They are, aren't they? They're in the round. They could do well. Well, they got knocked out, but they could do well in the league. I think the league is where they want to go with. I think Gary and the boys made a big statement that they wanted league football. That's a big call for Salford because they've still got a lot to do. But they've obviously got a bit of money. It's a bit of investment there. So they will eventually find their way in the top echelons, no doubt about that.
And I'm sorry we've got to let you go so quickly, but we've got to go into an advert break. But any predictions? Who's going to be joining the Football League, do you think, come the end of the season?
I'm going to hedge my bets on that one. I'm going to sit on the fence because so many teams. So many teams. I'd love to see Wrexham get back up there, but with a new manager, who knows? But yeah, if I put any money on it, I'll go for Wrexham.
Perfect. Sorry, mate, it was so quick, but I believe from in the future you're going to be quite a regular on the show, so we'll go into a lot more.
Yeah, I came in the show last week and loved it. It was good fun, and you boys are doing a great show, so keep it up.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers. I really appreciate you Skyping in, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Cheers.
Bye now.
Speak to you soon. Sorry to let him go so quickly. I've got to let you guys go as well. I mean, it's like all my relationships. Everyone I love slowly leaves me and leaves me gradually. It's quite depressing, really, frankly. We swap and you could be my psychiatrist in 5 minutes. No, let's get a couple.